You want to learn how to catch 10 times more bass in the fall? Well, stay tuned. This is the video for you.
Got one. Got one.
What's going on, guys? Bassing It Up Marvin here, coming at you with a new video. And in this week's video, we are going to break down a fall day on the lake. So since it's fall, it's going to be bait fish oriented baits. We start out throwing the Glidebait, we throw the chatterbait some, we throw the spinnerbait. But we're going to break down everything we do on the lake this day and how we get to catch these fish. So here we go. So first, we started out with the Glidebait. One thing that I really like to do with the Glidebait that I notice helps a lot, right off my initial cast, I'll reel really fast after the bait hits the water. And what that does a lot of times is it can trigger a strike out of a fish if it's close by once that big bait hits the water. A lot of times that big bait and that big splash can scare fish away, but if you rip that bait along really fast, it makes it look like there was a bait fish that was running away from another fish. And a lot of times if there's a fish around, they will react to it and hit it. I've had it happen a couple times already. But we start out with the Glidebait, throw that around a bunch. But unfortunately, it didn't seem like anything wanted to hit it, so we pick up and change spots. I am rigging a chatterbait up and putting a Reaction Innovation skinny dipper on this jackhammer chatterbait, and we decided to start throwing that around for a little while.
Little striper. Little bitty striper. Something trying to eat at him.
Then we moved spots again, and I eventually changed rods. This area has a lot more grass, so I changed to a stiffer rod so I could rip that chatterbait through the grass. Ripping the chatterbait through the grass is a great way to trigger strikes out of bass, especially in the fall like this is. You can get good reaction strikes and make the bass eat a lot of times when they don't want to. I had also noticed a lot of bait around in this area, so I'm using only bait fish oriented baits, as well as it's fall, and when it's fall, the fish are on bait fish style patterns because that's mainly what they're feeding on. Now, after not really getting any more bites off of the chatterbait, I decided to switch up to a little more subtle option the spinnerbait. Sometimes a spinnerbait is a lot better option than a chatterbait because it doesn't create such a louder vibration and sound through the water. And some days the bass just want a little bit more subtle option where it's only a little bit of vibration and a little bit of flash. And this smaller zman spinnerbait sure did the job. I just started reeling the spinnerbait around real slow through the grass. If it would catch up, I'd pull it and rip it a little bit, and I was just following around a school of bait, throwing around through them.
It is about freaking time. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is a little bigger than I thought it was.
That's what she said.
There we go, guys. This is a nice one. Off the spinnerbait. Solid chunk. Finally got something. Took all freaking night, but
At this part, you'll notice something really interesting. There's a lot of bait fish dimpling across the surface, and you can see that right here. And that's a big reason why a lot of these fish were around in this area. There's a huge school of bait fish, a lot of perch, a lot of shad and bluegill, and wherever you find them, you're gonna find the bigger fish a lot of times.
hello?
You're fishing already?
Huh?
You fishing already?
Oh yeah, I've been fishing.
Oh. Where you at?
The lake?
The doors?
Uh-huh.
On the boat?
Uh-huh.
Nice. Catch anything yet?
Just one. I caught a striper too.
No.
A little bitty one. And then I caught a decent bass.
Oh, that close to the over here. You know what you should do? You should just build a pond and you can just go in the backyard and fish every day.
I wish.
Take a lot of time.
Got one. Got one. Oh, that's a big one.
Another striper, probably.
No, big bass. Look at that big one, guys. That's a tank. That is an absolute tank there, guys. Look at that one. That's easily a 5-pounder. Heck yeah. Off the spinnerbait. Let's let this big old girl go. There it goes. Yeah, hopefully I get another one. I got 3 now.
Send me a picture.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
And we fished around this area the rest of the night until dark, but that was all she wrote. Well, that's about going to conclude this video for you guys. So as you saw, we caught the little striper on the chatterbait, threw that around a bunch and couldn't really get any more bites on it. I was figuring it had to be a little bit more subtle of an option because I wasn't getting any bites on the chatterbait, so pretty telling. And decided to pick up the spinnerbait then. And since it was fall, I said we were throwing bait fish oriented baits. They're typically going to be feeding on nothing but other bait fish this time of year. So decided to pick that up and throw that around. That's a little bit more subtle option than the chatterbait, so I figured that should work. And I knew they had to be running around feeding on these bait fish because I saw a big school of bait fish and some bigger fish around them. So I figured just changing through a couple of lures and fishing around them long enough would end up getting me a bite. And sure enough, it did. Got 2 really nice sized bass, about a 4-pounder and a 5-pounder. So it ended up working. And then we fished around that area till about dark, and that was about all she wrote. That's typically what it takes during the fall out there on Marburg, and that's typically what it takes on a lot of these fisheries around here that time of year in the fall. Just going around throwing different style bait fish oriented baits, making sure you're around some fish, and switching through a couple lures till you end up catching. And that's hold pretty true to me for most of my fishing career. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found some use out of these tips. And if you did, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next one. Sorry, this video popped up a little late and we didn't get a video out last week. This new job has not allowed much time for my video editing and fishing, so we're gonna have to do something about that because all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. And like I said, if you did, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Get entered into my giveaway. As soon as we hit 2,500 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway for a fishing trip with me. So to be entered in that, you got to be subscribed to the channel. You got to like this video. You can comment for another entry. And if you share it on your social media page, you'll get another entry as well. But we'll see y'all next Thursday, guys. Tight lines. Go out there and catch a jammer.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it.